Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the subject I was robbed. Now, how many times have you heard someone say that when they've done a show? I was robbed. I must have been to, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of shows, and I don't think I've ever been to a show where I haven't heard someone say I was robbed. Now, there are times when you do shows and you think, you know what, I feel I should have won that, and you get all annoyed, and I've even seen people throw their trophies, get really angry, think they should have won, shouting out I was robbed, having a go at the judges. But you know what, 6 months down the line, you look at the video and you realise that actually you were probably wrong. So at the time, you know, your adrenaline's up, you feel like you should win because you put so much effort into it. I'm the winner, I was the best. You're not seeing it from, you know, the judges or from the audience. You're looking around, you think you're looking in your best shape, you've put so much effort into it, you've spent the last 6 months to try and win this show, and you feel like you deserve to win it, you should win it. But then when you look back, you realise, you think, do you know what, I didn't win that. So you've got to be very careful. There are the odd occasion where I've sat there in the audience, I thought, that decision may be a bit off, but you can't help that. Judging is down to a personal opinion. It's a very difficult thing to do. Judges are under a lot of pressure. The only thing you can do as a judge is just judge it, and you decide on who you personally think is the best, got the best physique, and different judges might have a different opinion, but that's just the way it is. And if you can't accept that, then you shouldn't really be competing. You have to accept that anything can happen. You go there, you present your best physique, and it will be what it will be. You just got to hope on the day that it's your day and that the judges like what they see. So the problem is now, people back in the day always blame the judges. The problem you've got now as well is that now they've got something else to blame. They've got the show prep coach. Now they're to blame. The judges are to blame. The tanning was to blame. You have to be accountable. You know what I mean? It's a sport that is done as an individual. You can have a team around you to help you. You can have a guru that will give you the best advice they possibly can. But at the end of the day, it's only you that can do this. And I get really annoyed when people blame other people, when they blame the judges, when they blame the show prep coach, when they blame the talent. They're blaming everyone. I know people that literally just don't stop moaning and think that they should win everything, and the only reason why they lost was because either robbed, or the show prep coach told them wrong, or maybe the tan was running, or whatever. It's ridiculous. I've never blamed anyone but myself, and that's why I put my own tan on. I prep myself, and I accept that on the day it will be what it will be, and I just hope that on the day the judges like what they see and I win. You're not always going to win, no matter how good you are. That's the attitude you must have. If you don't, you're going to be very, very disappointed. There's always going to be things that are going to go wrong. Show prep coaches, with experience will do their very best. It's in their interest for you to look your best and for you to win. But, things happen even at the top level. You're working with the body, and when you're working with the body, sometimes it might not quite go to plan, and what you do is you adjust things, and then in the next show, you try to sort them few problems out. The problem is with people, they have one bad experience maybe things didn't go well, and they change coaches constantly. And the coach is having to start from scratch as well. You've got to remember, the show prep coach needs to get to know the person's body as well. You get someone from scratch, you've got to learn how their body is reacting to certain things, how it responds. So what these people do is they go from one and they hop from one to the other. This might take 4 or 5 shows before you nail it. This is the problem. So people have always got something to blame, and it's ridiculous. And I feel sorry for a lot of show prep coaches. I've had it where people have gone, and they didn't look how they feel they should have looked. The thing with it is, you can have the best show prep in the coach in the world. It ain't going to make you look like Phil Heath. It ain't going to make you look like the best female bodybuilder in the world. It's just not going to. You've got to accept that, I think some people think if they pay and they get a prep coach, they expect to win everything. But you're the one that's got to put the work in. You're the one that's got to stick with the diet. The show prep coach can tell you what they everything that you need to know. But if you go away and eat chocolate, if you go away and you don't put the work in, then none of it's not going to work, you know. And then they blame the show prep coach. You know, you are only to blame. You have to be accountable for your own actions. So it's quite annoying and does really annoy me, to be honest with you, you know. And when the poor judges, you know, are doing their very best. Now, in most cases, them judges do not even get paid. They give up their whole Sunday. I mean, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't give up my whole Sunday, as passionate as I am, not get paid, and get people slag me off for not judging it correctly. I mean, it's ridiculous. So think about that next time. You know, them judges are doing their very, very best, and it's a very, very difficult job. And when you get people ranting and raving and that they were robbed, you know, it's if you can't accept that there might be a bad decision, if you can't accept that things might not go your way, don't compete. You know, that's as simple as that. Because I think it's very unfair, very unprofessional. One thing I'd like to say about all the shows that I did, and I've pretty much done 40 shows, I'd like to say that in all them shows, no matter how bad I felt, I always smiled, took my trophy, walked off and tried to be professional. Now, I'm not saying when I got home I didn't shout about. I'm not saying that I went in the toilet and probably headbutted the wall, but I never let anyone see that. You know, I tried to keep it professional and accepted the decision, and that's what you must do. And I think it affects you for future shows. You know, if you're going to show judges that you're going to be acting up like that, I don't think that's going to do you any favours anyway. I think the best thing you can do is just accept the decision, whether you think it's right or wrong. Give it a few weeks, look back at the video, and then make your decision. Because 9 times out of 10, you will look back and you'll probably say, do you know what? Probably they were right. It was just at the time, you know, when emotions were high and you felt like you should have won because you've put so much work into it. Your brain is not quite functioning the way that it normally does due to being dehydrated and so heavily dieted down. So, you know, you've got to get yourself back to normal, put the video in and look back, and like I said, 9 times out of 10 you'll probably say, you know what, the judges were right. So there's a little bit of advice. Ranting and raving, saying you've been robbed, having a go at the tanners, blaming the show prep coach and continually hopping from coach to coach, I think isn't a good idea. I think the best thing to do is stick with someone, and if you're going to go with a show prep coach, you have to trust them. And the worst thing you can do is go around to different people while you're being prepped by someone. You know, you've got to stick with that one person till the end. If you're not happy, you can move, but to be honest with you, I still think you're best sticking for a few shows at least with the show prep coach, just to, you know, because otherwise, you know, like I said, the show prep coach is starting from scratch all the time, and that's very, very difficult. You know, you've got to get to know the person's body, how it responds. So a bit of advice, you know, trust in the show prep coach if they're experienced. I think don't get too upset. If the tan runs, it runs. You know, it's the same for everyone. And if you do feel like you get a bad decision, don't go ranting and raving. Get home, have a few weeks, look back at the video. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably say, you know what, it was the right decision. So keeping control, I think, is important. The way you conduct yourself is very, very important. And I think it says a lot. And I think that too many times I see people continuously blaming everyone else but themselves. And that, unfortunately, is not a good thing. So, yeah, that's just my little rant, really, on people that moan and feel like they've been robbed. So I'm sure when I go to my next show, I'm going to hear it again. It really annoys me. Yeah, it's something that I don't think you're going to hear me say, even though in some shows, a couple I felt maybe it could have gone my way, but it could have gone either way. And unfortunately on that day, it just didn't go my way. But I wouldn't say I was robbed. So there's my talk on it, and we'll speak to you soon.